So one of the features of Tенkara rods is that the rods are telescopic. You know, the pieces, in this case they only have the two tip segments here, but the pieces slide from inside of each other, and you know, you pull them out so that this makes them very compact, and you know, where you can extend them very long. But one of the things that can happen to any telescopic rod is that pieces might get stuck inside of each other. If you pull it too tight, or if you have, you know, some grease in there or some dirt, you haven't cleaned the segments properly after using it, the pieces might get stuck. That's just part of, you know, what can happen with Tенkara rods. Now, normally what I would have done if a piece is stuck, I would have, you know, with this still inside of the rod, I would have just tapped it down. But you can see here that there's a risk that when I'm doing this, you know, the rod could have some sideways pressure that will crack it or break it. I've been using one rod for over a year. I haven't had that problem yet, and I've got several pieces to come apart that way, but I can see that there's a risk in doing that. The other method that you might have seen around is to use a little rubber pad to increase the traction that you have on the stuck pieces. And with this little rubber pad, Tенkara Baum sells it as the tip grip. You can put, you know, a little bit more force while pushing it in, but sometimes I consider there's also risk that could possibly snap the pieces if you're not very careful, if you don't have a lot of experience. And if the pieces are very hard, very well tied together, it might be very hard to get it unstuck with the other method. So on a recent visit, Dr. Shigaki taught us a really cool method for getting pieces unstuck, the ones that are very hard. All you need is a rubber band. So with this rubber band, so here I have the tip that is inside the second segment, and what I'm going to do here is with the rubber band, I'll tie a knot around the thicker part. And what I do here is just like wrap it around a couple times and then tie one knot and tighten it very well. You know, just get it very tight, and with two loops, you know, on both sides. This is going to be for your fingers to be inserted here. And essentially all you're going to do is a little bit of a bow and arrow type of, or a slingshot type of action, where you're going to pull it up by holding above the rubber band and let it go down on the table. And it's always a good idea to have like a, you know, if you're, in this case I have a glass table, just have a book or something, or if you don't want to damage your furniture, just have something that is hard and flat. And all you're going to do is several times pull it up and hit it. And if the piece is really hard stuck, I mean, this I had put a lot of force. You might take 10, 20 taps even, but it will come down. I mean, the tip here just came down just by doing this very simple method. So again, rubber band tight to the thicker segment, two fingers on both sides on the loops, pull it up and let it go down. And what this does is that ensures you never put sideways pressure, or you never have a chance of, you know, bending it so that you break it. So again, I put it very hard, and eventually it will come down. And it came down. It's a great method. It really reduces the risk of possibly breaking the tip when it's stuck. It works for any of the segments, and it pretty much will always get the tips, you know, the segments unstuck. Always do it on a flat surface, on a, you know, on a smooth surface. You don't want to do it on a rough surface, on a rock, for example, because that will wear out the bottom of the segment that you're tapping. But if you're doing a smooth surface, you know, that should take enough pressure that there won't be a problem. So there you go. This is the rubber band method. It works every time. You can pull it very hard and just enough tapping. And it comes down.